Now you might be saying to yourself, that song seems a little premature to play Auld Lang Syne here when we're 6 weeks away from New Year's Eve, and that is kind of true, but it isn't true in this Catholic Church context. You see what happens. Obviously, the start of the new calendar year is January the 1st. The end of the calendar year is December 31st, and as we approach January 1st, we ask those questions, what types of things should I do in the start of the new year? Well, a lot of people say, maybe I should exercise more, I should watch my weight, watch my fatty intake. Well, it turns out to be that in this church setting, we're facing the same dilemma. It turns out to be, as I said in a preface of the Mass, today is the last Sunday of the church here. It is known as Christ the King Sunday. Next Sunday is the start of the new church year with the first Sunday of Advent. And that occurs every year. First Sunday of Advent, start of the new church year. Christ the King Sunday, the end of the current church year. So now as we approach next Sunday, the start of the new church year, we have to say to ourselves, I need to make some resolutions. Now, you're not going to make the kind of resolutions you make in January by maybe losing weight or watch your fatty intake, but you should be saying to yourself, this is New Year's Eve in a Catholic church. As I approach the first Sunday of the new church year, next Sunday with the first Sunday of Advent, what types of things should I do to make myself a better person, a better Christian, a better Catholic? What should I get rid of in my life that keeps me from being a better person? Well, maybe this is something to consider. There was this professor of philosophy. One day he walks into his classroom and he looks at his students and he shows them a 12-ounce glass of water. And he holds that 12-ounce glass of water in his hand and he said to the students, how much does a 12-ounce glass of water weigh? Now, this was a professor of philosophy. This was a philosophy class. And most of the students are thinking, well, I want to say 12 ounces, but I don't want to answer because this is philosophy. And usually what looks to be the answer typically isn't the answer. So everyone remains silent. So he asked the same question. He said, I got this 12-ounce glass of water in my hand. How much does this 12-ounce glass of water weigh? And no one gave him an answer. Do you know the answer? Now, he said to them, I'm going to help you out here a little bit. A gallon of water weighs 128 ounces. This is a gallon of water. A gallon of water comes out to 8 pounds. And he said to the students, look, think about this. If a gallon of water weighs 128 ounces, how much does 12 ounces of water weigh? And all those students are looking at each other, and they still didn't give an answer. And then he gave them the answer. And what do you think his answer was? How much do you think 12 ounces of water weigh? Huh? 12 ounces. But he looked at him and said, no. It all depends how long you hold it. He said, if I have a 12-ounce glass of water in my hand and I hold it straight out for 5 seconds, it's only going to weigh 12 ounces. If I have a 12-ounce glass of water in my hand and I hold it out there for 1 hour, it is really going to get heavy. And if I try to hold it out there for 2 hours, I'm probably not going to be able to do it. My arm is going to begin to shake. And then my arm's going to begin to drop and drop and drop. The water's going to come out. I'm going to drop the glass. It's going to shatter and break. So he said the answer to the question, how much does a 12-ounce glass of water weigh? The answer, it all depends how long you hold it. Now, what does that have to do with the start of the new church year? As we say to ourselves, Jesus, I want to be a better Christian. I want to be a better Catholic. I want to be a better human being. What should I do? And the answer is this. You have to look at your own life, a little bit of self-introspection, and say to yourself, maybe if I've been holding on to some animosity against a family member or friend, maybe this is the week before I start the new church year to get rid of some of that animosity. How much does animosity weigh? And the answer is, it all depends how long you hold it. For the longer you hold animosity, the heavier and the heavier and the heavier it gets. You might say to yourself, I have some anger inside of me, anger inside of my heart. Maybe before the start of the new church year, I should get rid of that anger. How much does anger weigh? And the answer is, it all depends how long you hold it. When you hold in anger, it really begins to corrode the inside of you. It's corrosive. It's a carcinogenic. The longer you hold that anger, the angrier you get, the smile comes off your face, it turns into a frown. Many times, if you hold anger too long, you drop your head, you no longer look up, you look down. Your whole life is the life without sunshine. For the longer you hold anger, the heavier it gets. How long should you hold different elements of life? Anger and animosity. If you have jealousy in your heart, maybe now is the time to say to yourself, why? Why am I jealous of my neighbor? Why am I jealous about the guy across the street? Why am I jealous towards one of my fellow co-workers? Why do I have that? Because that jealousy is keeping me from seeing the blessings that God has given to me. I'm so wrapped up and my eyes are so blurred by seeing what someone else has. I'm so jealous about what they have. I can't even begin to see what I have. How much does jealousy weigh? How much does jealousy weigh? It all depends how long you hold it. The longer you hold jealousy, the heavier it gets. So now we're starting the new church here next Sunday with the first Sunday of Advent. So as we travel through this week, and when you come to church Saturday and next Sunday, you want to make that resolution to God and say, God, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to get rid of some animosity in my heart. I'm going to try to get rid of some anger I've been carrying around for a long time. I'm going to try to get rid of this jealousy for some reason. I got this jealous streak in my spine. I don't know why it's there. I have so much. What would really be crazy for you to be jealous of your neighbor and your neighbor to be jealous of you? That wouldn't make any sense. Maybe what you got to say is, God, help me to get rid of my jealousy, at least to lessen my jealousy, lessen my envy. Because what you want to remember is, it's just like the professor asked his students in this philosophy classroom when he held out a 12-ounce glass of water, and he said, how much does a 12-ounce glass of water weigh? And the answer turned out to be, it just depends how long you hold it. How much is anger? How much is jealousy? How much is envy? How much is animosity? How much is hatred weigh? It all depends how long you'll hold it. So from this Sunday to next Sunday, if you have any one of those dubious attributes, get rid of those. Drop them and free yourself. Lessen the animosity, hatred, the envy, the jealousy, the angst. Because the longer you hold them, the more they weigh.